Welcome to We Hear Her. I am Erin Trenbeth Murray.
And I am Jennifer Bean.
We're here today with another amazing woman who's sharing her story and insights to lessons learned.
Hello, everyone. I am here today with Alyssha Dairsow-Garfield, and I cannot wait to learn more about her. Alyssha has a lot that I want to learn about, but I want to start by asking you about Curly Me. You are the founder and executive director, and tell us a little bit about what Curly Me is and what you hope to accomplish.
So Curly Me is a resource for families with girls of color, specifically Black girls between 5 and 14. We hold quarterly events and group mentoring opportunities to help educate, empower, and encourage them to be their best selves. So the reason Curly Me even exists is because when I moved here in 2013, I moved here just to pursue a career and then go back home and do something like Curly Me where I grew up. But I heard a phrase growing up, it's just like, tell God your plans and see what he does with them. And so,
He'll say, oops, I'm sorry, you were reading the wrong book.
That was, it's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen.
Right.
So in 2015, I was still here on life's journey is what I call it, and figuring things out. And I had saw a need for a while and wanted to be a part of the solution. And so Curly Me came from seeing the need, stepping out on faith, and approaching a woman in a retail store in Sugar House.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, literally stepping out on. I circled around her for about 5 to 10 minutes.
And just when you thought this might seem weird, I'm gonna need to out myself.
I literally was like, if I go home, the voice said, if you go home, you won't be able to live with yourselves. Like, you'll regret going home. Yeah.
You got to do it.
You have to do it.
You have to be brave right now.
Yeah.
And so tell me about that conversation with that woman in Sugar House.
So
Did it go like you had it planned?
I didn't really have a plan because I didn't walk in the store thinking I was going to approach somebody about it.
That's sometimes how it goes.
Right. Huh? And so when it happened, I just basically asked her. I didn't even have the words necessarily because I didn't know really what I was being prompted to do. Okay. But I was like, I see this need, and so it kind of, you figure it out from there.
Sure.
But I approached her and just said, hey, if there was an event that you can come to learn more about your granddaughter's hair, would you come? And she was just like, yes, this is my granddaughter. Oh my gosh, her mom has been looking for things. And this was in 2015, August.
Okay.
It was like the beginning of the summer, 2015. And from that point on, things kind of started to fall in line. I tell people I walk the streets a lot. I love to be in the community. I love to just be out meeting people, going to various events and just learning what people do. But now at that point, after that day, the intention was I need to go out and I need to find a location because not a lot of places were doing focused on curly hair, so I had to figure out where to go. I didn't even have a salon where I went to do my,
Did you have a girl?
To get my hair done. And so it really was foot to pavement and Google, and I walked into a salon and asked, did not know who I was talking to.
Right.
And from there, it went, we need to get snacks. And they were fully on board. They'll provide the snacks. And I'm just like, this is wild. But I'm like, okay, we're going to go. We're going to keep going.
I'm on the ride, folks.
I am on the ride. And one thing after another just kept happening. And one event turned into 2 events, turned into a tea party, turned into a back to school event, turned into Change the World with Her, turned into partnerships with other community organizations that were like, we don't have anything like this. We don't have someone coming into our community to show young kids of color what they can be, or it wasn't a frequent occurrence in the Valley. And so in 2018, we became a nonprofit. And that was a whole leap of faith because this whole thing.
I was going to say just now.
This is a whole another.
I think you leapt a little while back
after the rounder, the bigger or the next big leap of faith
yeah.
was, what is a 501c3? But I come from good stock, meaning my parents, I would say, raised me well.
Good, I like that.
My mom had a ministry-based nonprofit back home in New Jersey. And so I grew up with her putting together women's conferences. And so I grew up around that.
Right.
And so it wasn't, you kind of go back in your mind to think about, like, what did your mom do?
Right.
So what are
that's
the women
kind of
your...
what we decide we know, even without really choosing. We start sort of replicating what we've seen.
Yeah.
So right before we started shooting, I wish we would have been on camera, but you came from South Jersey.
Yeah,
yes?
New Jersey, born and raised.
Tell me a little bit about that little girl that your parents raised, and what did you learn from them? I bet she was kind of fun.
I was. I wasn't like I didn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
I just had a really like active mouth. I was a talker.
I can relate to that.
I was a talker. I loved my Nickelodeon. And I was a talker. I'm the person you don't take to the movies because
they're talking.
I'm talking. I'm like, you're getting
shushed.
Right. So, but I remember two things that my parents told me as a child, and it was, both of them said, work hard.
Sure.
Always work hard for what you want. But my dad, for some reason, it could be because I'm a homeowner now and I'm recently married and we're merging finances, but he always said, pay your bills on time. And honestly, in the last couple months, we're literally about to approach 5 months of marriage. And that just keeps ringing in my head. Pay your bills on time. Have good credit. And one of the greatest things my parents did for me when I turned 18 was get me a security visa.
Gotcha.
So that allowed me to purchase my first home with great credit. And I was just like, it's really like full circle.
You realize how small things can make a really gigantic difference. Change the course, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So was there anything about when you were circling the lady at Sugar House, what do you think was the thing that made you say, I've got to talk to her, besides a prompting?
Yeah.
This clearly had been something that you were kind of playing out in your head a little bit.
Yeah.
And what was it in you?
It was the voice that you will not be able to live with yourself. And it's not like a life or death type of thing.
Like a dark omen.
Right. It's really just, I had gone through a big failure. I came out here for education and it didn't work out.
Gotcha.
And so I really hit, at that time, rock bottom.
So far,
for
it's
me.
your rock bottom.
That was my rock bottom. And it wasn't like I couldn't move back home. It wasn't like my mom and dad weren't trying to welcome me with open arms.
Yeah.
But I was like 26, 27, and I was just like, I want to try and do things for myself on my own. I know my parents are so supportive. They literally were like, when your lease is up,
we're coming to get you.
It's not even that. Leave your stuff there. Get on a plane. We will pick you up from the Philadelphia.
Bring your purse and we'll meet you
That's
there.
all you need. Your passport and your license. Everything else, they'll figure it out.
Right. Leave it behind. Come back home.
But it was something, that was when the journey started with my personal relationship with Christ and my personal relationship with Alyssha.
Yes.
And so when I was stalking this woman, let's just call it what it is.
I was saying, sorry to call you out on it.
Stalking this woman in the retail store in Sugar House, it was like, that's what I had. I had been thinking about what then was not curly me. It was just the idea of curly me.
Right. It hadn't even been named quite yet.
It was not named. I was just like, there's these black girls.
We're going to do something.
We need to do something for them. And I just kept talking about it and kept writing it down in my journal.
Yeah.
And it really a combination of all of those things. This is your chance. This is your opportunity. And even if she says no, it's all right.
Right.
And
do you chase that feeling? Is that what keeps you going?
It really is. It's the feeling that you are able, you're in control of your own destiny.
Yes.
But I get so excited to just be able to talk about that because all you have to do is say yes.
Yes.
And when you say yes to something that's really just been working at you and trying to get you to where you need to be,
right.
It's just like, man.
You know what? I think about something that I've recently learned, and that is the lesson that saying yes can get rid of a lot of resistance that you feel in life.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying and trying and trying and trying to work for one thing in one direction, and then all of a sudden you say, clearly things aren't working out for me.
Yeah.
And so you say yes to something different, and all of a sudden the world just
Floodgates.
opens. Yes. Yes.
It's like,
exactly.
Folks come out of nowhere.
So what gave you the bravery to say, I'm gonna found Curly Me in Salt Lake City, Utah? Because I'm guessing the leap was large.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, that's when you probably committed to staying in Utah.
Yeah.
And you chuckle like, I did that.
Yeah. Well, I think when you live in a state like Utah and who's big on family,
yes,
who's big on community, and you come from an awesome family and you come from a wonderful community back in New Jersey,
right?
It's hard to say, I'm going to continue to listen to this presence in my life and stay in the place where your parents aren't here, my grandmother isn't here, my little cousins aren't here. I don't get an opportunity to physically see my family get older.
Yeah.
I'm watching other people's families get older. So it is really a decision of following what you are being told by, in my case would be the Holy Spirit.
Right.
Somebody else's case would be another voice.
Yeah.
Or the prompting in other people's cases. I definitely, it's a big leap. But when I made it, the floodgates just continued to just open. And I continued to learn about why the purpose of Alyssha being in Utah. Because of all places in the United States, why?
Yeah.
Of all places would I get, I'm going to say that one more time, because when you grow up on the East Coast, you just don't even, Salt Lake City. I remember in 6th grade, learn all the capitals of the United States. And so I took pride in knowing all the capitals. Not one day in my life. That's all I knew. That's all I needed to know. Because my life was on the East Coast. Because I'm not doing that over there. Not. Yeah. We go to California, we visit folks. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
But when you're here and you make the commitment, it definitely, you have to change your mind. And there aren't days there are days that go by where I wish I was home, but I'm purposed to be here.
Yeah.
So when I don't know what else to do in life, I know I'm supposed to be doing the exact thing I'm doing right now. Or if I can't remember, I've written enough down with tears to follow to know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so when you don't know, like when you feel like you've hit rock bottom, or you don't have a purpose,
right,
or you don't know why this person is talking to you, or don't know why you need to go talk to that person, that's the time when you have to check in with yourself and say, what
should I be saying yes to?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to thank you, actually. When I came on to Women Who Succeed, I think you had already become a member. But your name rises to the surface because there's always something that you have offered our network of women, and probably more specifically, Erin and I, as we build this program. Mm-hmm. And that is for us, the challenge for us to listen. And if we're going to say that we are a diverse network of women, that we are seeking to improve opportunities and access for girls who may not have it otherwise, we need to listen to those that are pounding the pavement, are out in the community, and let you inform us of how we reach out, how we really do in our brand, for example, in everything that we do, stand next to what we say we'll do. And what is it about Women Who Succeed that kind of overlays with your life's mission and your purpose that made you say yes to us?
Well, I realized in order to reach people and to learn from people, you can't just stay in your own bubble.
Yeah.
And just like I made the decision to stay in Utah, you're always going to be faced with making big decisions that you don't know if they're the right one or if they're the wrong one, but at least giving it a try.
Yeah.
And giving it an opportunity to learn from other people, things that you don't really know. And so coming to Women Who Succeed allows me to learn from women things that I don't know and offer what I do know.
Yeah.
And building a network for when you guys are doing things, or since I'm a part of Women Who Succeed, when we are doing things, I could always be in the room to learn, or the give and take of relationship.
Sure.
And when you need women to stand with you for a specific reason, you have these women of courage, these women who have built something to help bring up the next generation and the generations after that. So I'm definitely into what Women Who Succeed is doing in the community for young women as a whole. And so anything that has to do with young women, I'm totally down to give a try.
Well, we are so grateful that you said yes to us. And I challenge you to help us, inform us, and create this course that we're on. And I love having women like you on our team, so to speak, to make sure, that we're saying yes to the girls that are following up in our footsteps. So,
but even through those conversations, I've had to definitely check myself to make sure that I'm hearing what you all are saying. So it's not really a one-way street. Right. I have to make sure that I'm looking at the whole picture at times, because again, I focus on a certain demographic, a certain population.
Right.
And so, but when you're in a more widespread, a wide reach organization, you definitely don't want to go in just with that one set mind. And so I really appreciate how Women Who Succeed has allowed me to broaden my thought process and my perspective on topics. So.
Good. Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It has been a joy to get to know Alyssha a bit more. Thank you for taking time to hear her. Join our efforts and learn more at womenwhosucceed.org. A big thank you to our sponsor, the Clark and Christine Ivory Foundation.